The star stopped over the place where the child was. Any astronomers around? Only one of the four Gospels describes a star going ahead of some magi looking for the Christ. It's Matthew chapter 2, verse 9 that says, "When they had heard the king, they set out, and there ahead of them went the star that they had seen in the east until it stopped where the place where the child was." When I talk about the possibility of that famous star, the Star of Bethlehem, I start with that verse because it says something that should bewilder us, whether we fancy ourselves serious astronomers or not. The verse says that it stopped over the place where the child was. Now, if you were to go outside under a starlit sky, how in the world could you possibly tell that a particular heavenly body, whether the moon or a planet or a star, how could you tell whether it was directly over you or directly over someone, say, 50 miles away? Obviously, the night sky is so vast and the heavenly body is so far away that there's no way of saying that a star is over one place on earth and not over another. Unless we're at a Christmas pageant and the wonderful star, about 3 feet wide, is being held aloft over a manger scene. That's not that kind of star. Here then beginneth my meager analysis of what led the Magi. And I use here the analysis of a man named Michael Molnar, a retired astronomer at Rutgers University. First of all, the men were magi, or astrologers, not astronomers in our modern sense of the word astronomy. They associated, these astrologers did, they associated heavenly bodies like the planets, the moon, the constellations, with people and times of life. And the constellation Aries was associated with the Jews. And the planet Jupiter was the regal star, the royal star that conferred kingships. Well, in the year 6 BC, when the moon was passing through the constellation Aries, the moon also occulted or passed over Jupiter. And when Jupiter emerged from behind the moon as the moon kept going, the astrologers were to assume a royal birth of some sort. And Aries was the sign of Judea. Thus, a king of the Jews had been born from behind the moon. That's the way the astrology worked. Furthermore, Jupiter then stopped. Yes, the planets that are outside the orbit of the Earth appear to stop in the night sky occasionally when the Earth passes them in our smaller orbit. We see Jupiter here, the Earth coming on Jupiter looks here, and we're coming up with it. But then the planet goes retrograde. It appears to us to reverse direction and to go backwards in the night sky. It appears to stop. That, I believe, is what the Gospeler Matthew means when he says that the star stopped over the place where the child was. It means that the star, the planet Jupiter, appeared to stop in the night sky. My sense is when the planet Jupiter stopped, the important thing was where the Magi were, not where the star or planet was. Wherever the Magi were when the planet stopped had to be the place. And wherever they were on their journey, that was where the Christ, the Messiah, had been born. They went into the house. Yes, in Matthew's version, they go into a house, not a stable. They went into the house and found Mary and the child. That's my meager analysis. It might be an explanation that works, maybe not. The important thing is that a light shone in the darkness, and that light was the light of the world. As John chapter 1 verse 5 says, the light shines in the darkness, and the darkness did not overcome it. Furthermore, the light is stopping over you. Yes, you. The star stopped over the place where the child was, and the light is stopping over you and over me and all of us at the same time. We are all children where the star stops to shine over us. This season of Epiphany is the season of celebrating light growing in the world and growing in us. Think of yourself as the place where the star stops to shine. Behold, you are my child. In you I am well pleased, says our God. The star stops over us, each of us, the place where the child is, the place where Christ is born, the place where God is well pleased. Amen.